plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bock in the Black Shirt here on your Thursday. We are 7 days away from Nebraska kickoff and just a couple of more days before the week 0 kicks off. I'm with Jake Bockoven, one of the best producers here at The Ticket. And Bock, how are you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. Like you said, we're right there. I'm going to go ahead and say this before, that I won't be here tomorrow, but we'll have Austin filling in, so it should be a good show tomorrow. But that means that we've got to make our picks. Of course, we look forward to college football season, but even more importantly, whether we're right or wrong about the picks that we make. No, I'm just kidding. The college football is the most important, but to actually be there, to be there today, and obviously with college football just now 2 days away, we've all waited. We have a long wait, and here we are. So it's incredible. My favorite time of the year. I can't wait for another season of entertainment and fun. And of course, as we know, some of us might prefer college football of yesteryear, but every year is something different, something special. And of course, this year, second year of an expanded playoff. Who knows what the playoff is going to look like beyond this season, but we know what it is this year. And so it's going to be a fun ride.
All right, Box, 7 days to Husker football. We do this every day. Number 7, lucky number 7.
Yeah.
Dice rollers know what it is. 4-3. You can do it either 6-1 or however you want to do it. 5-2. Bock, there's a big list of number 7s.
Yeah, this is a historic number for Nebraska.
Yeah, this is. I couldn't fit all the names in there, so please bear with me as I read some of them off. It was over 30 guys, I think, Bock. Old time, younger guys. We already know. We could debate 7 if we could, but I'm going to start off at the bottom. Work my way up and finish at the top.
All right.
Number 7s. Best number 7s in Nebraska history. Reggie Ball. 2-time national title, split in, receiver, what we call him back in the day. I played with Reggie for a year. Great guy out of Bellevue. Just great guy, just one of the, I wouldn't say best number 7s, but honorable mention number 7 to me.
Now, was he, you're going to have to help me out because you played with him and I don't remember. Was he particularly effective on special teams as well?
Yeah, offense mostly.
Yeah, mostly
offense. Reggie Ball could catch passes. I mean,
yeah.
we wasn't a throwing pass, but Ron Brown demanded more out of his his split ends and wideouts with blocking. So Reggie was a big part of the option with the blocking he gave and everything else.
Yeah, so shout out to Reggie Ball.
All
First
right.
of our many names.
Ricky Simmons,
There we
my
go.
man, one of the guys who here the ticket, who says get your happy on every Sunday with Jake Bockoven, another one he produces and stuff. Bock.
Yeah, absolutely. We just had Ricky on with Adam here this past hour, so he's just stopped by. I was going to mention it to him. Of course, he's kind of more focused on his post-football career a lot with his show, and he kind of wants to kind of keep it that way, but he's a heck of a player, had a heck of a time for Nebraska when he was around.
One of the fastest guys that ever came out of Nebraska in the 40.
Yeah.
I think his time's still up there at the top 5. All right, Bock. Malik Collins.
There you go.
Younger guy who's probably graduated, about 7 years ago?
What would be in like 2015? Yeah. About 10 years ago
10?
probably now, yeah.
All right, Jeff Sticky Hand Sims.
I thought we were doing the best hustle.
Well, it's just mentioned.
Number 7 yeah, okay.
All right, DeMario Williams.
Oh, man. Talk about a fun player.
Yeah, great linebacker. Reminds me of myself. A lot of people say he put his hands down in the dirt. I still think he's a wheel linebacker because he was off the ball. So, a lot of people say different.
Well, it's funny because he was able to put his hand in the dirt and get a good pass rush. But he was also a stand-up linebacker. So, sometimes you kind of get that lost in your memory. But he had, you go back because his numbers are just fun. I think, and I don't want to misquote it, so maybe I'll pull him up. But I think it's like 11 and a half sacks or something like that and 150 tackles. He was incredible.
All right, Bock. Next one, Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, now NFL wide receiver Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah,
would have been nice to see if they could have settled him at wide receiver here at Nebraska. Of course, he wanted to play quarterback, but yeah, shout out to Luke McCaffrey. There was times I'll never forget. Certain times in the stadium when people would get frustrated, Adrian, and some of the turnovers, and instead of boos, which you might think were happening, because Adrian was struggling, was the Luke noises that were coming from the stadium that sounded like boos. Now, ultimately, obviously, again, he didn't necessarily work out as a quarterback here, but now playing in the NFL, so a heck of a college football player.
All right, Bock. Is there a debate for these last 2 sevens? One is a national champion. One is a Heisman winner. I don't know how we rank them, but I would say a Heisman is sometimes better than a national champion when you won a couple of, but it's still to a fact that some people like to go with the national champion winner. In this case, we're not. In my case, I'm not. I wouldn't vote for this guy if he was the last president we had on this earth, Bock.
I think maybe you're looking outside of his playing days now.
Scott Frost is not even honorable mention on my book, Bock. He's just going to be mentioned. Scott Frost, number 7, right there. He's number right there. But my favorite number 7 goes to Eric Crouch, Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Last player to lead Nebraska to a national championship game. Does a lot for the community out here in Omaha with building the playgrounds all over Nebraska. Such a good guy. One of the fastest quarterbacks you would probably meet for Nebraska. Just all around good guy right here. I can't say too much about this kid. He means a lot to the state of Nebraska, and he's our last Heisman winner, Eric Crouch.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric Crouch, without a doubt, the first number 7 that you think of when you in Nebraska football history, Nebraska football lore. Obviously, so many special plays from kind of running one in the end zone to beat Notre Dame. Everyone knows about Black 41 flash reverse, the run against Missouri. It was just so fun to watch and underrated, I think. And people would argue that his Heisman year wasn't the strongest group that he was going up against, but how many other how many other option quarterbacks have won the Heisman since the turn of the century? Eric Crouch, an incredible player. Scott Frost was too.
Yeah.
I think Eric Crouch, the better player. Scott Frost, though, does get a lot of credit for the toughness that he had, and obviously part of that was overcoming some of not living up to Tommy Frazier in '96 to turn around in '97 and lead them to the national championship. Of course, The throw, against Missouri that Matt Davison ultimately comes down with might be his most famous throw. But,
that 7 Wiggins kicked.
Yeah.
Nobody, he never gets credit for that
he
part.
doesn't get a whole lot of credit for that. And then, of course, after Nebraska stomped Peyton Manning in the Orange Bowl, Peyton Manning in Tennessee, Scott Frost did a good job of politicking. I know you said you wouldn't vote for him, but at least politicking for Nebraska to get a share of that national championship, and they did the next morning. So, I mean, Scott Frost, the player, always going to go down as an an integral big part of Nebraska football history. What he did as a coach, and the fact that he likes to keep talking about it afterwards, obviously is going to take him down from that level. But still one of the greatest number 7s of all time. I got a few more to throw out your way. See if you like some of these names. Dejon Gomes, one of my favorite number 7s flying around on defense.
Great one.
Yeah, with that defensive back, a group that included,
it was just so many Bock, I couldn't get them.
Prince and Alfonso and Eric Haig, and depending on, I think it was 2009 that he came in. So Larry Asante, Matt O'Hanlon, over to the 2010 unit. Just a lot of great players in that. The nickel, or what was it? Trying to think what they called that defense. Maybe someone could help me out. I remember that was a big deal back then. Mo Berry, the linebacker, led the team in tackles a few years ago. Another one to throw out there. McCatherine Clayton, the quarterback, before Steve Taylor. So yeah, those are some of the other names. Franz Hardy, one of my favorite wide receivers, growing up as well. So good names. Malcolm Hartzog, of course, the current number 7.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. They switch numbers every year. But when we talk about Nebraska and how young we are, I think they let it be known to the nation. I think we keep it quiet, but Nebraska, they tweeted this out, said Nebraska is the youngest team in the Big Ten, 91 sophomores or below.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of them are out of 100 and what, 25?
Yeah, I mean it's more than the 105, right? Because they were able to keep those on. But yeah, I mean I think it's a solid reminder, and in something that maybe I think is going under. I don't want to say under talked about or anything, because so many of the guys of the upperclassmen are on the front of the depth chart, right? And I'm kind of getting used to this. I mean, Nebraska is just. It seems like there's not. By the time you get to the senior class, there's like 10 of them around.
Yeah.
By the end of it. As a college football on any team, but I think that is a little bit maybe I don't want to say underreported, or at least underacknowledged, is that that the team is so young, because we all expect this to be the breakout year. There's still plenty of reason to believe in that, but that it should be a reason to think that things are heading the right direction, because Matt Rule, everybody kind of wants to do that when you step in and you start from year one, and now you've got this new era of the transfer portal, and guys like Deion Sanders, who's not necessarily prescribing to that anymore, and going out and just getting the best players available to play. Well, there is still maybe a foundation or backbone that you're kind of setting with some of those freshman classes you bring in, and to get a lot of those guys to stick around the last couple of years, it is a big coup for this coaching staff.
Well, we say that now, Bock, but these guys are sophomores and freshmen and redshirt freshmen, so it's still a long way to go for them to finish school. I mean, you could lose 10 of them by the end of next year. So the thing is trying to keep these guys and keep them happy, because sophomores, they like to explore, and freshmen or have talked to people that okay, did I make a mistake? Did I sign on a mistake? Can I redo it? Can I go to this school that offered me a little bit more than Nebraska did, who was really recruiting me hard? But you got to think about things like that, Bock, and it's a good thing to have these many kids. It makes the future look good, but we have to worry about the present right now and try to get the job done on how we're gonna win this season.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, there's just less guys willing to stick it out and stay around and kind of fight up through their sophomore, redshirt freshmen and sophomore years to stick around to juniors and get that opportunity. That's kind of a throwback attitude. And so I don't know, again, if you're going to have, a whole lot of, a lot of these big classes that we see now from the freshmen and redshirt freshmen and sophomore classes stay as big as they are. I think you will see, more of those guys kind of make their decisions, but that's when you kind of get to it, right? Is maybe entering your sophomore season or after your sophomore season, you get a pretty good idea of, where you stand on the team, whether that mean on the depth chart or, even fighting up the depth chart. Is there something that kind of stands out about you with maybe even if you're fourth on the depth chart, but you're among the top guys, the young guys. Okay, then it's kind of wait your turn. But if you're fourth on the depth chart and everybody, there's a couple guys that are younger ahead of you, you can kind of start to fill out your position. So there will probably be some more turnover even with those guys ahead, but the more that you can kind of keep them fed, as you're kind of saying, and give them opportunities, the better. But obviously, the best man plays. I mean, there's no, despite promises or expectations coming in as a high school recruit, they're going to have to play the best players, and regardless of class. And so, it's this isn't everybody gets to play, type of deal. So we'll see what happens. But it's not a terrible idea for Nebraska to kind of stay young, because that always gives you a little bit of hope on the upside, as long as, again, it's not so heavy on the depth chart. Because a lot of people would say you'd like to stay old as well, because that's not a bad, if you're able to do that in the transfer portal era too. You've got a lot of experience underneath your belt. So it's a little bit of both, but I don't think you're necessarily in a bad position. If you're on the extreme one way or the other.
Well, sometimes I think it makes the younger guys like a Vincent Shaver step up, and that's why he really has to craft his position, because he's gonna have to teach people. He's gonna have to teach people along the way as he goes. So this is a great thing for some of them to be young. They be in the system 3 years as a starter should help him in the long run. Should help the defensive coordinator, whoever it be, to count on a guy like him, and like Van Poppel and Keanu Davis and the rest of these guys. These guys will be the key to Nebraska in the next couple of years, especially next year as they get older and older.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that defensive line, because it is, it's a question here about guys that left, right? But also, we've seen flashes from those guys, but when you kind of step back and look at it, Cam Linhart is a junior, but he's a true junior, if you will. Just 2 years on campus, going into his third. And then those other guys that you mentioned, Van Poppel, redshirt sophomore, and Keona Davis, the sophomore. Does their youth make you kind of question about how well they're going to do, or is that more the upside, like you're kind of saying with Keona Davis, or is it just the inexperience as far as games played? Would you feel better, for example, if Nebraska looked like they were going to line up, juniors and seniors there with the same amount of experience?
Well, when I say that, my concern is probably the repetition and youth age. I mean, we could sit here and say guys like Robinson and Nash was in this program 5 years. I'm not, I could never take anything away from a young man's ability or talent. But as a college player, you need those repetitions, you need those experience, you need that game experience. It's just certain things you need. I mean, I'm not saying that these guys are not going to work. I mean, it's a long season and they have a long way to get, and they could get better as the season goes. But right now, I'm kind of concerned. That's my concern right now, is just guys need to get more reps. Guys need to be put in position to learn the defense. And, just being that young is probably, especially at a defensive lineman, you really don't see them play young like that. I mean, that's probably,
yeah.
And when I say this, it's probably they're going to be thrown into the fire, without a fire jacket. So, but that's my thing, is just the youthful age and being so young as a it's something that happens every few years probably when we play guys like Grant Wistrom, guys like Chad Kelsey, even Mike Rucker probably didn't play probably his sophomore year going into his junior year. So guys have to wait their turn and try to really beef up, and I don't know if these guys was given a chance to beef up. I mean, they beefed up at a quick rate, just seeing how would that affect or last during the season.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, defensive line, that's usually not a spot you see young people just jump in and take on Big Ten offensive lines, which are usually some among the best in the nation. A lot of veteran groups, guys getting drafted, all that sort of stuff. So, that will be a challenge for this team, but hopefully Nebraska's got the talent there. And you've got some guys, and I'm not saying, I listed off Linhart, Van Poppel, and Davis, because those are the guys I think will start, but I don't necessarily know. You've got guys that, have been are upperclassmen, like a Jalen George, who came in from the FCS level, like a Elijah Judy. So you've got a few names in there that are upperclassmen that maybe have seen a little bit more, but if, like we were saying earlier, if you're the best man's going to play. So you can mix in a little bit of veteran experience. Of course, you got guys that are real fresh, like Williams Winieri, still trying to make his mark on the field out there after being a highly recruited kid. Sua Lafatu getting a lot of press this off season before probably making kind of his breakout season, if you will, at least as far as debuting and playing heavy minutes for the Blackshirt defense. A lot of interesting notes there. And then the other thing you were kind of saying, and I was going to question you, and you were a bit of a specimen in your own regard, but you mentioned this the other day, just how much more comfortable you were maybe midseason, even though you're making plays right when you got in right away, how much more comfortable you were as the year goes on. And so, everybody's goal is to be in midseason form game one. That would give you, a huge heads up, but it's a lot harder to do than to actually go through it. So a lot of this is just, like you said, it's trial by fire. They're just going to have to gain experience on the go. Hopefully, the schedule, I think, sets up pretty well for Nebraska to be able to maybe take some licks and not necessarily lose some games in that fashion. And generally that's kind of the non-con idea. Obviously you get your big test, and Nebraska's got one right out of the gate, but how much more comfortable do you think these younger defensive linemen will be by game 6 than they are in game 1?
Well, they should be seasoned by then, or either, or we're in trouble. But
yeah,
it's to the point where, a good thing that they're a rotating bunch. You're not going to see a guy who plays 50 snaps on this defensive line. You're not going to see a guy who probably 40 snaps. I think keep them fresh and keep a coach in their ear and just try to keep them motivated through the season. I mean, I think that's the best way you can get them good, is to keep them fresh and just keep rotating them. I mean, it probably sounds good to us, but we'll have to see what it does during the game, though.
Yeah, rotation's going to be big up there, and like you said, they talked about it. They're going to go kind of back more to a heavy rotation. Last year did less of that. Obviously, kind of with the personnel that you had with Ty and Nash there, but they were their kind of heavy rotation the first year. So again, we're kind of talking about who we maybe predict to be starters and all that. But a lot of these guys are going to get their opportunity, and I hope that by season's end there are guys playing 40 snaps. And I only say that because that would mean that somebody's stepped up and made it so, like Ty Robinson and Nash did, that say, undeniably, you're going to take a step down and you're going to keep me fresh. Yes, but you're going to take a step down if you take me off the field. Nebraska needs a few guys to separate like that.
Yeah, you probably see DBs and linebackers Bock play 40, 50 snaps, play majority of the snaps on this first week of on the first game of the season. It depends how these guys play. I mean, some of them have to separate themselves from the others. I mean, to earn more playing time. So we'll see how that goes against Cincinnati team. We probably gonna start studying by the Monday. We probably gonna have our preview Monday. I did see the Big 12 come out with their injury report 2 days on the Thursday. So hopefully Tuesday we will see what Nebraska and Cincinnati will put out for the injury reports.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. You're right, Cincinnati. I mean, game week's right around the corner. Monday, we probably, again, should have the Nebraska depth chart by then, and it really will kind of, kick off game week. And obviously, we're all really excited about that. If you missed it, by the way, we are going to have on our YouTube page, or you can check it out on any form you get early break. We had a Cincinnati insider on early break this morning, so I thought that was a really good interview. So, yeah, check that out if you want to get an early look at it, but we'll definitely break down the Bearcats next week.
Yeah. Cincinnati wrote me like crazy when I came out of JUCO. They was trying to get me bad, but
nice.
They wasn't in my level though. They wasn't on my level.
They weren't among
probably if they had NIL back then, they probably would have had me.
Now were they jumped around conferences? Were they Big East at the time?
I don't even remember. I just know they was handwriting letters every week, stuff like that. They was the first they was sending probably 3 letters a week.
They're among the most the teams that recruited you the most.
Yeah, they was trying so hard, but I had a stiff on them.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, Bock, let's go to break, and when we come back, more Nebraska news, and we're gonna talk about some concern, Bock, when I come back here. 93.7 The Ticket.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rolloffs has been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rolloffs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rolloffs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rolloffs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gannett Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gannett Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Bock, some crazy stuff going on out here in college football. When I say crazy, Matt Rule has launched a podcast. When I say podcast, during the season.
Yeah.
That's kind of strange right there. But the podcast is called, hold on, Bock, let me get to it. Do you have it right quick? Okay,
yeah,
here you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
The podcast is called House Rules. Podcast that House Rules for the 25 season right now. Yeah, it kind of amazes me. Matt Rule talks about, he says, I don't have to be politically correct. I can speak the truth because that's how we move the game forward. I don't know when the first series or the first whatever, how they call it.
First episode's dropped. It dropped today.
Okay, first episode drops today. What can you find it at on what?
I think it's on YouTube. Let me look. I'm not sure. Again, this is kind of news within the last hour and a half or so. And it's quite an interesting news that your college football head coach not only starting a podcast, but like you said, doing it going into the season. So it was about an hour long. I'm not sure, obviously the timing of it very, if you're kind of thinking week to week, is this going to be a weekly thing? Would be interesting if they drop it going into next Thursday, if they're going to do this every Thursday. Obviously there happens to be a game next Thursday against Cincinnati. So it's interesting. I think it's a continued effort on Coach Rule's behalf to highlight kind of Nebraska, and they've done a great job of doing that, obviously on social media and in some of the walk-alongs they've kind of been having lately. So this is an interesting idea, and again, especially in the season, they kind of had the Chasing 3 documentary the last couple of years, which I thought was fantastic. It wouldn't air after a loss, so you kind of wonder if maybe the same type of things can apply, because it could be some interesting podcast time. Obviously, if you're coming off and again, hopefully this doesn't happen, but maybe the Indiana game or something like that last year, that would be interesting. So we'll see. It again, kind of reminds me, Matt Rule is kind of looking for different ways to get out in front of people. I think Nebraska, the brand is strong, but it's a little bit dormant because it just hasn't been on in primary national televised games more than maybe once or twice, for 20 years. And so in once or twice a season, I should say, for 20 years. So, he's doing everything he can, I think, to get, to highlight Nebraska and what we have here. And I think this is just another example of it. And again, it reminds me of Tim Miles. Remember when Tim Miles came into Nebraska as the basketball coach, and he was tweeting at halftime, and that was back when Twitter was relatively new, and it was kind of like, this is some interesting, innovative stuff that's going to get attention from just college basketball fans in general. And I think a head football coach starting their own podcast during the season, kind of a similar thing to that.
Well, a lot of people are going to question this move, Bob. Really, with it being so close to football season, you would probably demand more your head coach to be involved in the football things. And it's like having a weekly radio show, something probably like that. But, I just figure we in a position now at Nebraska where we're at a point where we want to win now instead of later. Matt Rule has done a lot of great things for this university, upgraded the talent level probably in the last 2-3 years to get us back probably where we need to be. But at the same time, I think we need to focus more on football with a game coming up next week. But he's a great guy. I'm not shooting shots, but it's just I think we should put our attention more onto football than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be an interesting balance, obviously, especially if it's coming off a loss, to kind of see what they do. Now, for what it's worth, obviously, coaches kind of have their own media deals that they kind of have to go through. Obviously, a coach's show and radio appearances and such throughout the week. So, you're kind of adding another hour onto that. Anthony Gargano is at least, kind of doing the podcast with Rule. It looks like at least was for the first episode. Again, still trying to kind of get full information on it. I haven't had time to watch it or to kind of to gather that information because I think it came out here at 11:30 or 12 that this whole thing was going down. So again, the first episode, you can watch it right now. It's on YouTube if you want to and kind of see what's going on. I know there was kind of a highlighting, their freshman Australian punter there in Archie Wilson. I think they had, a couple interviews in there. So I would expect it to be kind of more of the same thing. If he invites somebody in to speak with the team, they might also have some time to sit down and chat for the podcast. But we'll see. It's a new innovative way to kind of get out there and maybe break some news. And like you said, from the get go of how you described it, is he's he kind of sees himself as a guy that doesn't have to hold back punches or go through too much coaches speak because he's kind of been through it all and doesn't necessarily worry about job status or long term. I mean, he's financially set if you want to put it that way. So it'll be interesting, and I'll be interested. I mean, to see how much Husker Nation brings that in, and it's kind of interesting as a whole. I didn't quite play this clip from Denzel Washington the other day. I thought about doing it, but kind of breaking down, those that have been there and done that versus those that haven't, and kind of certain people just put a mic in front of their face and they still empowered to say anything. And there's different levels to that. I don't think Denzel was calling out everybody that does that. I think he had a recent appearance on First Take, and and so maybe it was kind of aiming that in certain places. I certainly don't think, but it is to today's age, is anybody can pick it up, a microphone, anybody can put a a camera in front of them with their phone and release something on the internet. And so to get it right from the source has been kind of something where it is kind of the new age, I suppose, or just kind of adjusting to. And so again, I don't think it takes a whole lot of production value, though. I will say this isn't just like a podcast in somebody's basement or something like that. There is a lot of production value that is going into it. But I don't think that's going to be taking a whole lot of Matt Rule's time. I think there's others that are working on it that are going to be doing that. So, it's just kind of news. And if you're a Husker fan, Husker news straight from the source, more access and insight into the program.
Well, I think he's doing an excellent job. We'll worry about the podcast later on in the year if it has any effect on Nebraska football. So right now it's a clean slate. We'll let it be. And if we have any problems with it, we'll probably have to discuss it later. Black shirts, Bock. No word on black shirts yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Haven't heard anything. This part of this time of the season, black shirts usually get handed out. Probably more or something that probably hope over the weekend we learn more about who will receive black shirts and who won't have black shirts. I'm gonna go over a list of people, Bock. I want you to say black shirts or yellow shirts. All right.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Cam Linhart.
Probably a black shirt.
Malcolm Hogsard.
Black shirt.
Vincent Shavers.
Black shirt.
Marquise Watson Trent.
Black shirt.
Van Poppel.
Black shirt.
Davis.
Black shirt.
Judy.
I would say probably yellow shirt to start off with.
No Wheelie.
Yellow shirt.
Who else?
Winery, by the way.
Yeah.
Tough name to say.
Jacob Bauer.
Say yellow shirt to start off with.
Okay. I'm trying to see who else. Who else we got back there?
I think Sarah Wright would probably get one.
Sarah Wright will get one.
I think Buford and Singleton are probably in line.
Yeah, Buford. Buford still here? No.
Marquise Buford, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Both Bufords are here.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, Mario's.
I think we probably should start off probably around, let's say, 13 to 12, 15 to the most.
Yeah.
To guys really, really get down. We have to wait till regular season to probably get about 18.
Now, to your point, though, we haven't heard anything. Usually we might hear something by now. Now, sometimes it might come out for game week, and that could get them juiced up and excited. But it is interesting to see. I mean, we have had coaches before, instead of handing out the black shirts preseason, do it during the season. make them earn the black shirts throughout their play during the regular season. So, you got a new defensive coordinator. Maybe he wants to kind of put his own spin on it, or liked maybe that preference to it. So we'll see. Yeah, it's kind of funny because usually that's one of our big offseason topics. There's a lot more to talk about, I suppose, these days in offseason in college football than there had been in year past. But it is something that hadn't necessarily occurred to me as of yet.
All right, Bock. We probably will see something like that next week. Yeah. Hopefully, next week we'll know by the game time who will be the black shirts that's going to be out there. All right, Bock. Any word on travel squad? Nothing on travel squad.
No.
I think the NCAA has a rule where only 70 can travel.
Yeah.
So we have to see what 70 or how he's going to be able to do that. I think it's 125 on the team or so. So you're looking at probably 50 guys staying home.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That's always part of kind of growing up in Nebraska football, especially in the heyday. In your redshirt freshman seasons and stuff like that, sitting back for the travel. But hopefully a lot of those guys, if they can't go on the sideline, will be able to get some tickets and go watch in Kansas City.
Yeah. All right, Bock. Here's what has there been any concern with you that the offense has bullied its way with the defense for the last two scrimmages? I'm hearing a lot of people say, well, the offense is way ahead of the defense. Losing what we lost from the transfer portal and guys that graduated, I think that it's to the offensive advantage right now until we get guys like Keanu Davis up to speed with, playing against other guys besides our offensive line, which will still make him a great player. But, I just think the offense is at a point to that they're probably 15 to 20%, not say better, but ahead of schedule than the defense.
Yeah, and I think that can be a little bit concerning. Obviously, there, kind of question marks with your new defensive coordinator there. And again, a guy in John Butler that was on staff last year, so it's not completely new, but just adjusting to what's going on there. And then, of course, personnel changes that you've got going on there. I actually kind of welcome it, I suppose, is because that the offense needs to take a step forward. And so hopefully that's what you're seeing, or if you're hearing, that they're ahead of them. And Coach Butler said the other day that they're being competitive, so it's not like it's an avalanche out there. So you hope that the offense is actually has those type of weapons, because a lot of it, you never know. I mean, some defenses or just units in general, we've seen with plenty of talent returning, not equal to what they were the previous season. But there are enough names there on that defensive side of the ball, especially in the secondary, the depth at linebacker, that you feel like this should be a pretty good unit. And they have been. They've been kind of carrying the heavy lifting each of the last 2 years. So hopefully the offense is able to do that a little bit this season. But again, it's one of those things you're not going to know till you get on the field. I always go back to Tommy Armstrong's first year when Mike Riley's first year when Tommy Armstrong was the quarterback, and he was just airing it out. And of course, you remember with Mike Riley coming in, that was the hope, was like, yeah, they're going to bring it in a big time passing game like all those Oregon State quarterbacks. And that was all the reports out of camp. I went to practices. That's what I was seeing. And it was like, okay, this is going to be pretty cool. And then what we found out, not that Tommy had a bad year, but it ended up being one of the worst secondaries in Husker Nation and Husker history, and one of the worst in the nation. So you don't really know what you're looking at, when you're playing your own team. But hopefully the defense is providing enough pushback. If the offense is a little bit ahead of them, hopefully that means more good for the offense than bad for the defense.
Yeah, hopefully, I'm not even worried about that point. I think, these first 3 games are tune-up games. Not really with the Cincinnati game, but, that game right there is still probably, I wouldn't say, if I had to go with percentage-wise of this game, I'll probably go 65-35 Nebraska. If with the chance of winning, that's probably a good percentage. But just what coming out of Cincinnati the last couple of days or so is that they have a long way to go, so, hopefully we'll be able to jump on them early and to, make them feel the pressure and just, and create turnovers and get good kicks and returns out of that. And probably, this is probably going to be Dylan's year. So, we have to think about that also.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to break it down and of course all these units that we've been talking about and get all this optimism and kind of speak from the coach about one guy being a lead or secret weapon or this. There's just a lot of praise coming out of camp, and we're going to see if Cincinnati shuts some of that up. Again, hopefully not overall as a team, but I'm sure there's going to be a few position groups that we're going to highlight and say, well, maybe could have done better out of week one, and we won't know what those units or position groups will be, and maybe I'm wrong. And the bigger hope, obviously, is that we're all happy with everything that we see, and you get a complete beatdown of Cincinnati, and we all get the start that we want. But this is it's got to be earned, not given, and they've got to go out there and do that. And of course, Cincinnati, like you said, maybe they don't feel like they're in midseason form quite yet with the practices that they've had, but they've got a whole offseason to get better, to try to kind of build hope in their program. It's year 3 for their coach too, so it's a big year for both. And of course, the start to the year is always very important to any year, but especially in a year 3 when you're trying to sell that the team is getting better. So, I agree with you. I'm probably closer to 60-40 Nebraska's way. But, so it's not quite a 50-50 game, but it's close enough that, obviously, first of all, we don't know. Cincinnati could be the team that takes the big jump this year, and they go from the bottom half of the Big 12 to the top half, maybe even win the whole thing. I'm not predicting it, but, we saw the worst team in the preseason last year, Arizona State, make that turnaround. So it is possible. So we don't know exactly what we're looking at, but hopefully Nebraska, kind of as you read it, should be able to win this game by, 10, 14 points or, more would be better. And just really any win, I think, would be accepted.
All right, Bock, we're going to go to break here at 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back after these few messages.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rolloffs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rolloffs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rolloffs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rolloffs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bock and the Blackshirt here on your 1 to 3 hour, Monday through Friday. We're right here on 1040 O Street. It is football season again. The campus is getting packed. Streets are getting packed. Oh, man, next thing you know, the stadiums are going to be packed.
That's right. We're looking forward to it, especially one close to us here. Of course, the home opener a little bit further away, but nothing like a game day here in Lincoln.
Yeah, nothing like a game day here in Lincoln. Can't wait to get those famous big hamburgers outside of the stadium. Then inside the stadium, Bock, they had a review of the food that was going to be at the concessions for the Aramax 2025 season.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a different selection. You're not just going to have to choose between a Runza or a Valentino's pizza. There's a lot that was released the other day, and in a lot of different ways. I mean, one of the hamburgers has a red burger. I think that's great branding. That would be kind of fun, I think, for a lot of folks once they go into the first game to get. I saw a hot dog that's 3 times as long as a normal hot dog with all sorts of different toppings on it. I think there's different types of corn that might be possible. Now, I'll be honest. I thought that was kind of funny. A lot of people are kind of looking forward to that. But there was like a specific press release and like media availability for Aramark in the food that they were releasing, and I know Nick went down there and was able to try some of the food.
Yeah, he was down there,
which was kind of funny. So I don't know. I don't get all that hung up on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might still go and get a red hot dog or Valentino's pizza or Runza, because that's what I mean, that's part of what I've done my whole life, going to Memorial Stadium. And so thankfully they still have those available, but I'm also not going to lie. I would like to try that red red burger. I'd like to try some of the different things that they've got out there. Were you excited when you saw some of those pictures? Does that do anything for you?
I was excited for that foot long hot dog.
Yeah.
Until I seen the corn slaw on there. I'm not a corn. I never had corn slaw, Bock. What is corn slaw?
I don't even know. I mean, it's I'm sure it's
that
corn
was
with
not a
maybe
good
mayonnaise or something. I don't know what's in there.
I would take a coleslaw on a burger before I take corn slaw. I mean, I never heard of corn slaw, but Bock, I tell you this, I'm willing to try it.
Willing to try it.
I'm willing to try it. Did you have a list of stuff that they had on there?
Let me pull it up here. I was trying to. We've got a list. I'm trying to figure out exactly what this is saying. So, they're gonna have some new like food concepts here as far as like spots to go to. So it's kind of fun that they've kind of named them different things like section 7, 16, 26, and 38. Apparently, we'll have access to Blackshirt barbecue. There will be Tunnel Walk tacos in section 234. Section 34, section 339, and 604. Herbie's Burger Company, Herbie's Burger Co. in sections 23 and 39. Chick in Coop at section 17. Cornhuskers Crunch Nachos, sections 32 and 34. 1923 Cheesesteak, section 28. 402 Snacks for section 601. And just Cobco for section 5. So will be some kind of interesting opportunities to go through that. Obviously, beer is going to be a big one. I think there was everybody was pretty excited about the number of tall boys that they're going to have in the stadium. I'm not, I know you're sober. I'm not a big drinker, so that might not do a whole lot for us. But what I'm more interested in that is the lines. Obviously, the first time through, we'll kind of see how. Aramark, I don't doubt will be ready, and I've obviously done this at many other stadiums, so I'm interested to see how that plays out. Obviously, the first time that they get this going, but I mean, as far as the specific food, it looked pretty good.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of stuff. Herbie's Burger Company. Never seen that. Never heard of it. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, would you trust Herbie if he handed you a hamburger, a red hamburger?
Well, basically, it's an Omaha steak patty. Cheddar, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles, burger sauce. Good bun. Herbie Burger is Omaha steak double patty, bacon, cheddar, lettuce, tomato, onion, red Husker burger. That's the Herbie Burger.
Oh, that's the Herbie Burger. Okay,
yeah.
The red one. Yeah. Okay. I want to try that Herbie
Herbo. However they saying it. They're not saying Herbie. They got HERBLE.
What I like too, because they've got like corn that's going to be available. I don't know if the corn is everywhere that Aramark does sport, but if you're specifically trying to obviously get to Nebraska fans, I think it'd be fun for a lot of Nebraska fans out there to eat corn. I always feel weird when I'm eating corn because I feel like I'm just, you don't want to fall into the expectation of what you're supposed to be. And Nebraska eating corn is probably exactly what people think when they hear about me or somebody when they say they're from Nebraska. But you know what? Let's we're the Cornhuskers. We might as well go ahead.
No, we're the Huskers, Bock. We've been got rid of the corn part of it, Bock.
It looks like we're bringing a little more into it.
We're bringing it back. Okay, Bock, when we talk about opposing teams burgers, Akron will have a Polish boy only available on September 6th. Okay. Omaha steak, beef patty, grilled Polish sausage, fried potatoes, creamy coleslaw, barbecue on a bun. Michigan, we will have the Michigan Coney Burger, Omaha steak beef patty, braised beef chili. Ooh, that doesn't sound good right there. Okay, shredded sharp cheddar, diced onions, yellow mustard on a bun. Ooh, I don't know about that, Bock.
Yeah, there's all sorts of combinations there.
Yeah, I mean, they
might not like every ingredient.
Well, it's different. It's different. I think it's different concessions that you can. Yeah, that you're going to be able to purchase different stuff. Tunnel Walk tacos. Let's see what that's like, Bob. You said something about that earlier?
Yeah.
Queso Blanca, cilantro lime, Husker tortilla chips, red and plain.
And I like too, if you did see the pictures, a lot of they've got a mac and cheese that looks really good with some toppings there.
Pictures are deceiving, Bock.
But the pictures are cool, and I think they're going to come in like.
Have you ever ordered something from a place that you've seen a picture from, Bock?
That looks the same as the advertisement?
It never looks the same.
No.
As what they say, Bock.
But my point is, a lot of these, and I don't know what the prices are being. Maybe you're going to pay more for the box, but a lot of these come in like these cool little like Husker boxes. Like one of them. And I think this is either nachos or tacos, is in like this box that looks like Memorial Stadium. I think it's just going to be a cool new experience for Husker fans, and probably going to do quite well because the food does look delicious. But as you said, it might not look the same.
Yeah, the Go Big Red Classic. It's going to be located at section 4, 7, 9, 14, 15, 18, 22, 24, 30, 33, 35, 36, 38. 41, 606, 610, and that's going to have Valentino's, runs of Fairberry hot dogs, popcorn, snacks, beverage, hot beef Sunday, located on the east and west levels, braised Nebraska beef, butter, Nebraska corn, garlic, mashed potatoes. They're going all out.
You're gonna have to it's where's Waldo? You're gonna have to find you're gonna look around and be walking around the concourse and go, hey, where did you get that?
It'd be halftime before I find probably one of those things, and then you can't go out at halftime anymore. But we'll talk about that later here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor. We want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Limitless Male says it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to SmokingGunJerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
All right, welcome to Bock in the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Oh, man, we are here. We are close to football, man. We are so close that, guess what, Bob?
What's that?
We'll be watching football Saturday coming up here at 11:30, the early game. I think it's only 2 games, Bob. We're going to pick the games. When do you want to pick them?
Yeah, we got 3 games, and we can pick them here around the corner because so we've got Iowa State and Kansas State. Obviously, the main one from Ireland, Farmageddon from Ireland. Fresno State at Kansas, which will be kind of interesting. Kansas is opening up their newly remodeled stadium. And then Stanford at Hawaii, which, by the way, will be Hawaii's first matchup against an ACC opponent. Stanford, that's right, on the West Coast, over there on the Pacific Coast.
Is that game
in the Atlantic Coast?
Is that game a toss-up?
Let me look at the spread real quick. Hawaii is favored by 2.5. So yeah.
Ooh, I'm kind of scared on that one. Pick Hawaii versus Stanford. That
could be
two down programs. One trying to rise his way back up. You have Andrew Luck, who's the general manager of Stanford, trying to get his old alma mater back on top of college football. And Hawaii just hasn't been Hawaii the last 10 years, I think. Probably the last time I watched Hawaii is when they had Colt Brennan. I think that was his name.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've been great. Wait, you know what? We're already talking about it. You want to go ahead and pick some games?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pick our games for the weekend. First game of the season for me and Bock as we go.
All right, we're off and running for the picks. Of course, the last 3 years we've done this, I have 2 titles. Terrell has 1. So we'll see what happens.
It'll
with
be
this
2 at the end of this year.
It might be tied up by the end of this year, or I can take commanding 3-1 lead. Maybe we should have a guest picker. Maybe off the text line, you guys can be our guest picker this year. In fact, we'll go ahead and do that. The guest picker, first person to text in you with your response can be our guest pick for the day. Well, let's start with Farmageddon from Ireland. Like we said, 11 o'clock kickoff. This is the primary focus for week 0, a top 25 battle in both the coaches and AP poll. Iowa State coming off an 11-win season. Kansas State coming off a 9-win season, 9-4 there for Kansas State. Kansas State, the Wildcats, despite Iowa State making the Big 12 championship game last year, came up short. Of course, beat Miami in the bowl game. Kansas State is favored by 3 in this game. Terrell, you want me to go first, or you can go?
Well, Bock, I want to talk about this first, Bock. Watching the injury report on both teams, looked like Iowa State missing a bunch of linemen. So when we talk about that part, it's going to be a sloppy game for me, Bock, I think. And I think I'm going to have to roll with my old Big 8 guys on this one, which is both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know which one to pick, but I'll go K-State on this one, Bock.
Yeah, it's funny. We've had all offseason to kind of prepare for this one, and it still feels like just as much as a toss-up as maybe it was coming into the season. Again, for percentage-wise, Matchup Predictor has Kansas State at 62.3% as they finished off last season, if you remember, with a barely beating Rutgers 44-41. Last year's matchup, Iowa State did win 29-21, and I think the number 22 Iowa State Cyclones, that is, get it done once again against the Wildcats. The number 17 Wildcats. We'll start on opposite ends here. I'm going with Iowa State if you're going with Kansas State.
All right, I'm going with Kansas State. You go with Iowa State. Now you're down 1-0.
At least we got some stakes on the line for, again, that old matchup between Big 8 teams will be a lot of fun. Looks like the first guest that we have for the guest pick goes with Iowa State. So at least I've got some company there. By the way, a few others going with Iowa State too. Ohio Husker says Iowa State. Cigar Guy says Iowa State by 10. So he feels pretty good about that one. I like the NFL Films music. Let's get that going again. And let's jump into our second matchup here. Like I was saying earlier, Fresno State at Kansas. Fresno State coming in off a 6-7 season. It'll be the first season under Matt Ince, the latest of the North Dakota State coaches to get an opportunity going up. So he was the North Dakota State coach from 2019 to 2023. And again, they'll take on Kansas, who did go 5-7 last year, but won 3 out of 4 down the stretch against top 25 opponents. They did lose their final game to Baylor, so they did not reach bowl eligibility. Kansas favored big to open up their new stadium by 13. I think the Jayhawks get it done, Terrell.
Who they playing again?
Fresno State.
Yeah, Jalen Daniels. Is that the quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back for year 2 or 3 or 4 for him. But Kansas can only get better. I'm not saying Fresno State's bad, but Fresno State is bad. So give me KU in the new stadium.
And Kurt Warner's son starting for Fresno State, so look out for that as well. But and it's not Cade Warner. Don't worry. He doesn't have year 6 or 7 there like Daniels does. But Kansas, I've got to go with them. A lot of momentum opened up that stadium. I agree with you. We will go with the Jayhawks, and we've got plenty of Kansas. I think the first one says KU. I think gets the win in the new stadium. So well said. We're all going with Kansas on there. And our final game there, Stanford at Hawaii. Hawaii's first chance, a crack at an ACC opponent. Stanford doing a lot of traveling, going all the way out there. Maybe a little bit of business, pleasure with business. So that's always something to look out for if you're going to Hawaii. Hawaii favored by 2.5. Head coach Timmy Chang, one of the best quarterbacks, of course, there all time, trying to get things going after a 5-7 season last year. We mentioned at Stanford, 3-9 last season. Interim coach Frank Wright, former Colts and Panthers coach.
All right, Bock. I'm gonna. Well, here's the thing, though, Bock. You said Stanford's traveling to Hawaii. Where's Stanford? In California, isn't
California.
it? Where's that? Going far.
Still a lot of ocean.
Well, what? 4 hours?
Now, Palo Alto is beautiful. They might not be as taken aback by all the surroundings of Hawaii.
Give me Stanford.
Wow, we're going with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going with Andrew Luck. He's revamped that team. He's going to have them back on track. The old Coach Shaw guys, when they used to be 11-2 and 9-3 guys playing.
Yeah. I don't mind the pick. However, I'm going to go with Hawaii. Again, they had more wins last year. I think Timmy Chang eventually gets things going out there for the Running Rainbows. So I will go with Hawaii. Let's check the text line to see who our celebrities are going with here. Let's say 7826. The first one in says, let's give Hawaii the win with the home field advantage.
I'm with old dad. Old dad.
Stanford
about 6. Yeah.
We got some Rock Chalk Jayhawks coming in as well. Somebody mentioning the Stanford tree. So a lot of fun. I think we'll continue that guest picks as well, just to see if you guys can beat us throughout the year. But we've already got opposite picks here in a few of our games. So we'll be off to a good start in week 0 here.
All right. 10 games coming every week. When we start week 1, we will battle this every week. We will not renege on games. Once you pick them, they are picked.
That's right.
And you can't change your mind once they're written down on paper.
And we will pick Husker games.
We will pick Husker games too.
Now, if it gets interesting, we might do Husker spread maybe against Houston Christian or Akron, but most of the time it's just gonna be straight up.
Yeah, that's well. At least you get an easy victory, so it doesn't matter on that. But what else you got there, Bob?
Some interesting news coming out of college football we can get throughout the show, but I did want to start with the Huskers specific things. On3 reporting Dylan Raiola will make over $3 million this year. We talked about his NIL valuation according to On3 the other day. I think it was just below that at 2. I can't remember. It was a little
2.3.
2.3. Now all the way up to $3 million. As the world turns, as college football continues to grow and the NIL packages get bigger, obviously rev share kind of changing things up there, but we'll still see some of the top names get a lot of NIL opportunities. How you feel about your starting quarterback making $3 million this year?
Well, he better play like a $3 million man. That's the only thing I could tell you. That's a hefty price tag to pay for a college quarterback. I like the kid. I really want him to succeed here at University of Nebraska. Things have to go football way. You still have to go out there and play the game. I think getting the extra receivers did help us out with him. I think he understands the offense better as the season went on. I think having Holgerson at the beginning of this season should be a big plus for him. If we can limit turnovers and just crazy plays, I think we'll be okay with him there.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and it's going to be comparative, right? You're always going to kind of look at what does Dylan make compared to some of the top quarterbacks in the nation, and if he's up there, and he was with his previous number already top 20, right? And not just football players, but in general in NI evaluation. Now you expect that thing to move up a little bit. So yeah, the expectation is for him to start knocking on the door. Of course, it's a long-term deal. with Dylan. We want him to be around at least 3 years, and hopefully 4 if we could convince him to. And hopefully he's in that position to have to make a decision. But it's more than the coordinators.
So
I mean,
way more.
Right. So it's just
you can't talk to me like that. I'm just that's what I probably would say to a coach. Hey man, I make more than you, man. Back off me. That was something I probably would have told Craig Bowe back when I played, because Craig Bowe was a good coach, man. I love that guy, and I think he's still connected to football in some kind of way.
Yeah, I think so. And it's just a new dynamic, different. Of course, that's been a dynamic for the years in pro sports, but now entering the college level, some of the athletes are going to make more than the people coaching them. But it is what it is. Along those lines, too, Adidas has signed Harper Murray as an NIL student athlete, so she joins Dylan Raiola. Remember, this isn't all that $3 million for Dylan's not all just coming out of Nebraska's pocketbook. Remember, that's more kind of back to the rev share thing. They got to decide what they do there. That's just overall with all these different deals, card companies, whatever it might be, Adidas being one of those deals that Dylan has had previously. So now 2 Nebraska athletes. Would Harper Murray have been your guess if I told you, okay, Dylan and who would be an Adidas athlete for Nebraska? Would Harper Murray be among your first picks there?
I mean, you got several great volleyball girls there. You got Rebecca. She's there. I did we did Wingstop with her last year. I also did a thing out of there in Grand Island with her. She's a nice girl. She fits the program model. I mean, I think all these girls do. I mean, clearly you have to pick one, and this is the one they went with. So you don't lose either way. So
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you could I would have maybe thrown out Jordy Ball from the softball
team. Would love to see her. Would love to see her get a good shot at Bock. Urban Meyer. I don't think he's a fan of Jim Harbaugh.
Why is that?
He questions whether the NFL should suspend the Chargers coach over Michigan sign stealing scandals. I mean, it's just he feel like he should suffer some more. So because he didn't suffer at all.
Well, he did. I mean, he sat out a few games, if you remember. Now they were able to win those games, and everything went according to plan for Coach Harbaugh. He does have the show cause penalty now from the NCAA, but to Urban Meyer's point there, that's not really going to hurt him as long as he wants to stay in the NFL. And, of course, his career has kind of gone a little bit back and forth, but he's reached the pinnacle in college football. Now, that could come back around. Maybe things don't work out in the NFL with the Chargers in the next couple of years, and he's kind of looking around for a job, and an NFL team might not want him. Could have landed a little bit better at the college level. But as of right now, it's hard to imagine that, and hard to think of that, that punishment actually hurting. So, I mean, I could see it, because for Michigan, it's the total cumulative fines from the NCAA decision are expected to reach as close to $35 million. And that's roughly quadruple the previous historic high that Tennessee had to pay, close to $8 to $9 million. That's part of a kind of a transition in how the NCAA is looking to do punishments, less bowl bans and scholarships and all that sort of stuff to take away from the current team, and more, hey, we're just going to hit you in the pocket where it hurts, and it's going to be up to you to kind of decide where you kind of take away from your programs here and there. So it is, I mean, it's a big scandal. He did win a championship. They didn't take away any wins. There's no asterisks next to the championship. So there's different ways to look at it. I mean, obviously, if I'm the NFL, I don't know if I'd go as far as to suspend him or anything, but I'd keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him too. Most overrated. We'll do this when we come back from break, Bock. We're pushing a little time, but when we come back, the most overrated team of the past decade. We're in the naming, Bock. They named us in it.
We're up there.
Florida State, Nebraska, Florida, North Carolina, the most overrated of the past decade. We'll talk about that when we come back at 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt.
We're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bock and the Blackshirt here at on your 1 to 3 hour over here at The Ticket 93.7 at 1040 O Street. All right, Bock, quick question. College football playoffs 2025 sleepers. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams. Utah.
Okay, fair enough.
Navy.
Okay, yeah, I like to hear that.
Pitt.
They had quite a run at the beginning of last season, fell off at some point.
OU.
Yeah, tough, difficult schedule.
Louisville.
Okay.
Washington.
All right, yeah.
Iowa.
Oh, all right, yeah. Find some offense in there.
KU.
Oh, we just talked about Kansas to get their shot against Fresno State.
Auburn, who's been in the news lately.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Georgia Tech.
They're rambling wreck. I love to hear that. I think Georgia Tech.
I think Georgia Tech is posed for a good season this year,
Yeah.
man. I mean, they've been up. They beat Miami last year. Clemson barely beat them last year. They got a great team. I think they lost a running back to in Florida State or Miami. One of them they lost the running back to. But and the last team, Nebraska.
There we go. Yeah, I like to hear that one.
Here's the thing, man. The game haven't even been played, Bock, but people are just throwing Nebraska name up left and right. Joe Clack, for example.
Yeah.
He talks about Nebraska probably 30% of the time on this show. Now he left us out his playoffs.
Well, fair enough. I mean, and it's just kind of interesting. I mean, everybody's looking for that sleeper team, like you said, and that's kind of where Nebraska fits in this year. And you also mentioned, before the break about maybe Nebraska being one of the most overrated teams in the last 10 years. And so it's kind of one of those combinations. We talk about breaking our heart and kind of falling for the Kool-Aid every year. The ride that's become such a popular talking point is because we find reasons to buy in year in, year out. And in the course of the last decade, it hasn't quite turned out the way that we wanted it to be. But at some point, and Adam was saying this earlier, Adam Carricker, is that he doesn't believe Nebraska is just going to be below 500 program or a team that can't win 8 or 9 games for the rest of his life. At some point, Nebraska is going to jump up and take that. And so, while a lot of us are kind of hesitant to drink the Kool-Aid and feel like, well, why should this year be any different? You kind of just go back to, well, this is the year 3. This is the building year. I mean, when you look at year 3 of any coach, and it's a big year as far as the expectations and the rubber kind of meeting the road of where the program is headed. So, again, Nebraska hired Matt Rule in large part because of what he did by year 3 at Temple and by year 3 at Baylor. So this is kind of that measuring stick year to see, this where the jump typically has taken. Of course, we all know different realm of college football these days, and some special things need to happen for those teams to take the jump. But again, there's enough reasons to pick up to point to Nebraska's roster, and whether it be locally or nationally, and say, you know what, there's some potential there, and the schedule bears out pretty well for them. If the ball bounces right for them a few times, they get a few wins they otherwise wouldn't. Then they could be in that position. But again, you're talking to the Nebraska Cornhusker fan base that's going, the ball bouncing, right? Well, that doesn't happen for Nebraska. Getting a few close wins, that hasn't happened for Nebraska. So there's some obstacles they still have to overcome to meet those predictions and all that. And then, of course, if they do that, then we get to hear from all the people that predicted it before the season and how they were right and all that sort of stuff. So that won't keep me from cheering for Nebraska, but at the same time, I see them often as a team, and I think it's just because they're a program that should be better than what they are and have been. And so at some point, you think that they're going to rise up again, and this year looks as good as any on paper of what they've had for several years.
Now, Bock, CBS came out with a most overrated teams in the last decade. Number 1, Texas A&M, 10-year record, 77-48. Not bad.
Not bad.
Average coach salary, $7.02 million. Average recruit ranking, 11.2. Losing seasons, 1. Record versus top 25, 17-26. College football appearances, playoffs appearances, 0. Number 2, they have Nebraska.
They got all those numbers too, because those are going to sound
10-year
wildly different
record.
than A&M.
10-year record, 50-69. Average coach salary, $4.42 million. Average recruit ranking, 24.3. Losing seasons, 8. Record versus top 25, 2-28. College football appearances, 8. Number 3 on this list is Auburn. 10-year record, 7-57. Average coaching salary, $5.73 million. Average recruiting rankings, 12.3. Losing seasons, 4. 15-38 against top 25. 0 college. Florida State. 10-year record is not bad at Florida State. 71-53. Average coach salary, $5.52 million. Average rankings, 13. Losing seasons, 5. Record versus top 25, 10-25. 0 college CPA things, CPA appearances. Florida. All these guys got good 10-year records besides us, Bock. Florida,
a lot of SEC records.
Yeah, 77-50. Average coach salary, 60. $6.04 million. Average recruiting ranking, 13.4. Losing season, 4. Record versus top 10, 13-31. 0 CFP appearances. USC, 10-year record, 77-47. No average salary ranking for the coaches. Average recruiting ranking, 13.2. Losing seasons, 2. 15-28 versus the top 25. 0 college football playoffs. North Carolina, 10-year record, 68-60. $3.4 million. Average coach salary, 24.1. Recruiting. Losing seasons, 4. 8-18 versus top 25. 0 CFP appearances. That's about it, Bock.
Yeah, and I think all those are kind of brand names outside of North Carolina. And we know, of course,
I mean, they
Belichick
also
went
have
in there.
Tennessee on the list, but they made a run for the playoffs last year. Texas made a run for the playoffs last year, also on this list. Miami owns this list, but, you know, these are teams that are on the break of making playoffs runs.
Yeah, and a lot of those, I mean, especially you go like up to the Texas A&M, only one losing season. It feels like maybe it's more just because of how much, again, the hype is on the other side of it, where whether it be how much they're paying their head coach. Obviously, that was a big talking point under Jimbo Fisher, the recruiting classes, all that sort of thing. And so their overall record maybe not quite as disappointing as what we've seen at Nebraska. And so, you know, but it is intriguing, you know, as we go into another year of an SEC dominated top 25 preseason, that a lot of those same names are often over evaluated or overvalued and kind of have to come back to the earth. But, you know, it is also crazy. You think, 10 years of the college football playoff, over 10 years now, going into it anyway. And to never have a Florida or USC appearance is still just, I mean, I would have bet heavily against that, 10 years ago. And that's almost regardless of who was coaching or how it was going at the time. Those are just programs that you expect to do better. And that's why they're often overrated. But, and Nebraska, most, we kind of do this over the years too, like who most kind of feels like Nebraska through what we're going through. And for a while it was kind of Tennessee, and now they've kind of corrected things. And of course that was more close to when Nebraska was maybe the Bo Pelini era or whatever. And just not quite over the hump, but right there. And Tennessee was kind of maybe a comparable program. But now I think Auburn is by far the most comparable program to Nebraska, in the fact that they are often, I mean, the expectations are there. There's going to be, expectations year in and year out. But in the fact that they have similar struggles, I mean, similar numbers to kind of what you're saying, probably recruit around close to the same area, as far as finishing rankings and all that. And then the biggest thing is just the coaches. I mean, over the years, Auburn and Nebraska have just gone through a lot of, maybe not top paid coaches across the country, but still, again, with the importance level of the football at each of those institutions, enough, some of the higher paid coaches in college football, and they've just kind of gone through them. They have not been able to settle or find a team or a coach to kind of guide them back to their glory days. And we'll see. Obviously, the difference for Auburn, recently was, or I should say before recently, is you go 10 years prior to that, they had the Cam Newton year. They had another year where they went to the national championship game. But since the college football playoff era, I'd say they're about as comparable as anybody to the Huskers.
All right, Bock, what you got for us?
I do have a read real quick, and then we've got a few college football stories. But Credible Mind plus mental health check-in is what we'd like to remind you of today. Always important to stay on top of your mental health. And the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department has launched Credible Mind, a free confidential site at myhealthymind.crediblemindcom. If you've been feeling off, try the free mental health check-in. In minutes, you'll get feedback, local resources, and next steps to help you feel more in control. So again, that is Credible Mind plus the mental health check-in. And mental health, again, I can't understate how important that is, especially, I know here on sports radio, a lot of men listening to the station, and I think, generations past, it's kind of been rub some dirt on it, suck it up, all that sort of stuff. That's not necessarily the right way to go about it. And your mental health is going to be important for you, obviously, for your other, the rest of the health situations that you have going on. And if you want to be able to help others, I know a lot of people, it comes from, wanting to be able to at least be a help to somebody and help others. You got to be able to help yourself first. So if you are having any sort of doubts or struggling at all in that, Credible Mind is kind of a new resource that Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department is pushing, and we are glad to partner with them and talk about a little bit here on our program. A couple other college football notes that I wanted to get to, of course, is the single-digit numbers. Got a lot of attention here for Nebraska. That tradition came from Matt Rule coaching at Temple under Al Golden, and Temple still does their single digit. So Temple just named off their 5 new single-digit number recipients. And interestingly enough, they've got a first ever specialist to receive the recognition, and it happens to be an Australian punter. So still some themes for Matt Rule and his current Nebraska team, all the way going back to his first stop, of course, at Temple with the single digits and the Australian punter in there. So kind of fun, and something that they've been able to keep going there for Temple. A couple other notes here in college football. Missouri. Of course, I've been spending a lot of time here on this show announcing who's won quarterback battle jobs. One interesting one was at Missouri, where Bo Pribula, the former Penn State quarterback, and Sam Horn were competing for the job. Well, they decided, you know what? It's been too close. We're not going to make the decision now. Let's go and have these guys battle it out against Central Arkansas here on Thursday and see who should be the starter. So we don't necessarily know. They've got 2 quarterbacks. Obviously, one of them is going to go out there and actually take the start and make the start. But the battle going on into the season, obviously, opponent might have something to do with that, being Central Arkansas. We saw Michigan do this a couple years ago with their quarterback battle. What do you think, Terrell, about allowing your quarterback battle to bleed into the season?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you have to go that far, you have to go that far. I think some teams need to, I'm not a big fan of rotating quarterbacks. That's one position you don't want to rotate a lot, because you never let the guy get comfortable. And then if you feel like one has a turnover, you snatch him out real quick. So, I'm really not a fan of that two-headed monster quarterback. But one team got 3 quarterbacks that's going to go battle for the first game. So that's strange also.
Yeah, it's definitely a route to go. UCF, Scott Frost, is not going that route. He has landed on his starting quarterback being Cam Fancher, the senior transfer over from Florida Atlantic. He had spent some time at Marshall before going to Florida Atlantic last season, and threw 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions and close to 1,500 yards in his time with the Florida Atlantic team. Previous to that, was pretty close on touchdown to interceptions altogether. So if you look at his career, he's thrown for over 5,000 yards, but 27 touchdowns and 23 interceptions. Bit of a threat on the run game, though. So don't sleep on that. Over 1,100 yards rushing throughout his career with 8 touchdowns on the ground as well. But still sounds like some work to do as far as improvement for Scott Frost and UCF.
Yeah, that's good. Daniel Kalen won his over there. Where was? Didn't I see that somewhere?
I think the I don't think Dalen Kalen won. I did see what you were saying. I think that was a bot or something messing around.
Yeah, that had because it said Villanova.
Yeah,
I know he didn't go to Villanova.
No. Yeah, he's over at Virginia. I don't believe he won. At least I didn't see.
Well, we'll have to see. We'll check on former Huskers as we go down the season and see their name in the box.
Yeah. One other college football note: Wisconsin to wear 80s throwback uniforms against Iowa. So look out for that. Of course, everybody doing their alternates. Wisconsin going to throw back to their 80s teams when they play Iowa. So that'll have a little bit different look for it. And South Carolina switching from Nike to Under Armour in 2026.
Yeah, I'm not an Under Armour fan of anything. I mean, that's probably like wearing ponies.
Yeah, we'll see. It was all the craze years ago, but it is interesting to see a few schools separate themselves from Nike here in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We've got one final segment here on Bock and the Blackshirt. I am Jake Bockoven. He is Terrell Farley, the Husker Hall of Famer and All-American. We will be back after this break.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rollouts have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rollouts will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rollouts make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrollouts.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rollouts, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bock and the Blackshirt here on your 1 to 3 hour. Quick little notes that we're going to go over right now, Bock. SEC is moving closer to adapt to a nine-game conference football schedule. Guess they're waking up now over there.
Yeah, I believe it when I see it. They've done that before where they said they're pretty much, that's why the Big Ten went to their 9-game schedules. The SEC said, yeah, we'll do that. And they're like, all right, well, let's set it up. Let's do it. And then once the Big Ten did it, they're like, never mind. We're not going to do that.
All right, Bob. Nebraska will have 121,000 cold, tall boy beers ready for sale each game. I was reading some on the internet, and some people say that's just pregame.
Yeah, I mean, you figure, I mean, not everybody's going to be drinking in there. Obviously, that doesn't allow, if you get kind of to 80,000 people in there, it doesn't allow everybody to have two, but you figure, a lot of people aren't going to be drinking at all. So I think that should be enough. We'll have to see. We might have to get a few more in there.
Would you say probably 500,000?
No, I think that'll probably be enough.
All right. Former legendary tight end Rob Gronkowski announces that he plans on signing a one-day contract to retire with the New England Patriots. Gronk is the greatest tight end in history, played 9 seasons in New England, 4-time Super Bowl champ, 5-time Pro Bowl champ, 4-time All-Pro, 2010 All-Decade team. First team ballot, first ballot Hall of Famer, Bob?
I think he is. I think Mark Gronkowski probably deserves that, and that's a tough award or a recognition to achieve, obviously. But I think if you talk about the best tight ends of all time, I mean, he was pretty essential for some of those Patriots runs that they had. And I mean, I think he's just got to be up there with team success and his individual stats that he was able to put up there. To be up there as the greatest tight end of all time. And if you do that, if you're maybe one of the best position players, of all time, I think you probably got to be a first ballot.
All right, Bob, what else you got?
Well, it is interesting. You will notice if you're a Notre Dame fan, Notre Dame has released a new leprechaun logo. They have not changed that logo for years and years and years. Obviously, it's part of their history. Kind of doing what Nebraska did. If you remember a couple of years ago, Nebraska had these specific logos for each sport. So now you can kind of find Husker when you do Husker bowling. It's a Herbie with a Husker ball. If it's baseball or basketball, obviously you've got the corresponding sport. Notre Dame doing the same thing with their leprechaun, and so they've got a new Notre Dame football leprechaun, holding a football running. which is different than obviously their Notre Dame traditional logo of the leprechaun just putting his dukes up and ready to fight. You're never going to really convince me that the logos are better from when I was growing up. Obviously, when you grow up with something, you usually like it. Now, there can be a few exceptions here and there, but I think that's kind of interesting that Notre Dame is finally changing their logo after all these years.
All right, Buck. Volleyball tomorrow at the PBA Arena. You will have a lot of ranked teams in there. You will have number 1 Nebraska, number 3 Pitt, number 6 Stanford, number 12 Creighton. So, and I think 8 teams altogether.
Yeah, it's a huge. I mean, the whole world of volleyball is kind of circling Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend for the huge kickoff there to the season. And what better way to do it than have the number 1 team in the nation, Nebraska, a top 5 battle with Pittsburgh, which a lot of people thought might have been the championship game last year. Of course, it didn't end up being that way, but Nebraska, the preseason number 1. And of course, it maybe most importantly for Nebraska fans, moving on off of the John Cook era and into the DBK era. Hopefully they get a win to start out of it, but they're going to play Stanford also on Sunday. So those 2 top 6 teams for the number 1 team right out of the gate. That's a good way to get your sport going there if you're volleyball.
All right, Bock, last thing right here. Northwestern and former head coach Pat Fitzgerald agreed to a settlement of the $130 million that he was seeking. Didn't find any evidence on him. So, hopefully he will get back into coaching. But I know he left with a pretty hefty paycheck.
Yeah, it sounds like he made out okay. I'd love to see Pat Fitzgerald back in coaching. Obviously, with his playing days there and his long tenure there, synonymous with Northwestern. So be a little bit interesting to see him in some different colors.
All right, Bock. That's all we got today from Bock and the Black Shirt here on 93.7 tomorrow. Check me and Austin out. Bock will be out tomorrow. It will be Austin in the Black Shirt here on 93.7 The Ticket.